And then here, next one is, I think, Yon's Dzogpa. There's a lot of footnotes, maybe you can find from here anywhere. It is the totally complete, Yon's Dzogpa. So that this is like Buddha's teaching has full kind of packet that which really remove of the negative emotion and bring into the enlightenment. Like there's nothing missing. That's the why they're talking about, totally, they call completed. So here it says, only, like one side negative emotion abandoned, or only that one antidote, not like that. All negative emotion will be abandoned, and Buddha's teaching is antidote of the all negative emotion, not only part or something. So therefore, whoever practiced Buddha Dharma, there is the path completely free from the three realms of the samsara, or completely enlightened into the three kind of liberations. Liberation of the Arhats, or Sharvaka Buddhas, Patika Buddhas, or then Mahayana Buddhas, or really Buddhas, you can say. So therefore, completed. And then again, he used this another word. This is the same text. Same text. Previous the quote. Gongxi tenden chödong nianzhe kamsong geni nianmong pongye song xiwe penye tenpa zepa ko tena zhongsong song yin. And then here the quote, not quote, okay. He said, means Buddha Matiya. Okay. And what is meaningful is to stay closely involved with the Dharma. Doing so abandons the affliction from all three realms. What functions to show the advantage of peace is the Rishi's speech. That is here, Rishis means Buddha Kajamani. Rishi means Tibetan word, the Sanskrit. The meaning is that who really talk honestly, perfectly, called Rishis. Rishi's speech, just another conceptualization things. I think first Tibetan word says, this is like what's meaningful is to stay close involved with the Dharma is kind of okay. So that Gongshik means whatever is something meaningful and with close to the Dharma. And then that should be that whatever close to Dharma is should be abandoned of the negative emotion of the three realms. And and then it gives to the or shows to the benefit or quality of the peace and etc. And then that is the Rishi's speech. Then other than that it's not, and Tibetan word Dokpa, if some teaching which is not close to the Dharma, which is not abandoned of the negative emotion, which is not shows to the any of peace and benefit and etc., that is not Rishi's speech. We need to understand like that way.
Okay. I think English is
What?
I think the English is correct. Yeah.
Correct or incorrect?
Incorrect.
So it's like it's very, very, this last three words called Dokpa Yen is like you have to, that is like one of this negative side. They said, he put here all these Buddha's words, says sages, and then Dokpa Yen means, if not like that, that is not Buddha's teaching. So teaching something that not close to the Dharma, not for the abandonment of negative emotion, not close to the peace, benefit, etc., is not Buddha's teaching.
So
Sorry?
This English doesn't sound like that.
Yeah, if you read even more commentary, that it will be very clear. So I learned these things, but when I read this English, then like in another conceptualization is he used another, this Dakpa means opposite of that. So he put first Buddha's word must be this and that. Opposite is something else. That was really the word, like in this 4 sentence is okay. Anyway, now we fought few words already now. Now we don't read too much this, okay.
Rinpoche, why does it say here in the translation then just another, that is like putting down, just another conceptualized thing?
Yes, something like that. There's no actually, there's no conceptualization. Here says Dakpa Yen means that Dakpa means opposite and Yen means other. So sorry?
Other than that?
I think maybe other than that is also kind of possible. Other than something else, maybe it's like something else is kind of also okay. If this sage's speech, then other else or something like that, I think.
There is this explanation of this sentence down here, 255, which gives the explanation of this sentence. It says here that the holy regent is Maitreya. He quotes the Buddha as saying that the meaningful thing to do is to practice Dharma because it eliminates all samsaric delusion. Other holy men teach Dharma, which shows the advantage of nirvana, yet does not have the capacity to eliminate samsara. Theirs is just another conceptualized item, like you said. They explain later here.
Mm-hmm. So it's correct. The translation is not.
It's still I definitely agree with what you said, but it does show that there is a difference because then Tony Duff is saying that Rishis is not Shakyamuni Buddha, is another people who are talking about nirvana. But I believe with what you said.
Yeah, no, this they're talking about Rishi's speech. They said this is Rishi's speech, and he put all this above, like this, close to the Dharma, abandon of the negative emotion and shows peace of, and benefit and quality, etc. That is the Buddha's Rishi's speech. And then Dakpa Yen, these 3 words, that other is something else. That means if they not shows like this, then there is not speech, this Rishi's speech. Yes, that is must be understood that way, okay? Then next is what Yong's Dakpa added next. Then totally pure. That is totally pure here, and then I think there's called totally purity and then totally and purification, these 2 things. And then one which he used, these 2 things are like that we have Buddha nature, and Buddha nature is naturally pure, right? And so that the Buddha nature is totally pure, primordially pure, and then so that when the Buddha taught this to us, for instance, and the primordially purity or primordially purity of the Buddha nature, and then and that case, that primordially purity is like more object, and then someone like Buddha himself or Bodhisattvas, they also realized, and that case, like the purity is more object, and whatever realized of that wisdom is more subject. But both are has to be totally pure, and there's both must be non-conceptualizations or free from the thoughts and etc. So therefore, here they're talking about, I think, first the purity is more like the suchness, or we call automatic purities. And then second, truly purification is more like, someone who first has to realize that. And then slowly we need to meditation on it. And then through your meditation, accumulation merit, and your this temporarily negative emotion totally pure. So we learn these things, double pure of the Buddha enlightenment. Naturally, everyone is enlightened, Buddha pure. But however, natural pure is not so useful, or maybe very useful, but still there's some effect for us, temporarily we have a negative emotion. So next one is like more that you kind of realize it of the also purity of the temporarily impurities. Te mato ba lowa de trim pasha no je ba nam je hi mano ban je lam je yonis. So next totally purification is that more like we are practicing to remove of the temporary impurities, and then eventually when you are totally understood of the enlightenment mind or enlightened, and then that is the called Yonsu Hyongwa. So this Yonsu Dakpa, Yonsu Hyongwa is more like this true purity of the Buddhas they're talking about. So